Hey, what the fuck? It's Charlie here. I have a dozen flies I need to tie up for the Mackenzie River Guides Association, the wives' dinner, and I figured I would get them tied up here real quick. Let's go ahead and get out your chode and give this thing the old wax so that it doesn't go to squeak town on you. And then got to rethread the thing. The nice thing that is really, I should say, the thing that's really nice about this Umpqua bobbin, if I can get it, is how gigantic that fucking hole is. You know what I mean? Like it's huge though, so it's easy to get thread into it. And it's got some weight to it. I like that weight. So it's kind of started to become my new favorite. I thought that I would struggle moving away from the things that I like because this was previously my favorite. And kind of haven't pulled it out in a while unless I break shit off. Anyways, here's the jam. I'll show you what I'm tying. I'm going to do a series of these. And here's kind of what it looks like. And basically what this is it's a Klamath Intrudery type fly. But again, I like using that schlop, I love that woolly bugger look to it. So there's the fly. And I was going to tie up 4 of those, 4 of something else, and 4 of something else. What I've discovered, and I haven't done it yet, is because I rarely ever do like production type tying. Like I've never done like just a series of 3 or 4 flies exactly the same in a row. However, I'm now thinking that if I had a bunch of these prepared and put my beads on shanks and had them sitting off to the side just ready just to plop on here, this ready to go, it would make a lot more sense. When the video's done, I might spend some time doing that for the remainder of the flies because I will still have, at that point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 7 more flies left to go. Yeah, so I probably will. Now, I'm going to show you how I do this measurement on a Renzetti. Is once I know like what I'm dealing with and I've done 1 fly and I want to keep those the same, I will take this and I can place it and I can say, okay, just to the front of the eye on my hook, those are, now it's too far. See, I just pulled it a little bit, but and I don't need to do this every time. I'm just showing you for the sake of the camera. I can eyeball this and basically it's good enough. But I know like I can do that and go every fucking time. That is going to be exactly a 2.5 inch fly. And I would know that if I came here and did this, that would be a 3-inch fly and so on and so on and so on, right? And then to right here, etc. End of my hook. Typically if the end of my hook is right here, I'm usually getting into like the 4-inch range. So, however, this is a short shank. It's like 23 millimeters, some crap. So that also obviously affects it because if your shank is out here, well, now you've already got 2 inches plus whatever your intruder wire is back here. So it changes. But for the sake of getting into like a production or tying something that you've tied before and roughly knowing those measurements, you can just eyeball it like this, or at least that's how I do it. Anyway, let's get this fucker tied in quick. This is where I'll take some super glue. Super glue is awesome. Especially on something this small, even if it's for summer steelhead. Summer steelhead, it's not like they're fucking weak fish. So I'm really kind of like, I always think it's so fucking dumb when I hear it like, oh, summer steelhead, you know, I'm like, dude, they're steelhead. They still jerk and rip and go to fucking crazy town. So, yeah. I just take all the precautions. That's just buying some fucking insurance, and it's fucking pretty inexpensive, and it doesn't take up a whole lot of time, and it's pretty dumb not to do it. It's dumb not to double back your intruder wire. It's also dumb not to just add a little dab of super glue while you're at it. here we go. This gets really fucking easy because we're just using straggle leg or straggle string. Kind of give this thing a little bit of a fucking rip. Technically, it should be my Chinese saddle first. I'll get to that in just a second. I'll do it right now. Not necessarily putting too much energy into selecting like the best feather, because these are, for one, I mean, they're giveaways. People are going to auction them and I want them to be nice, but also it's a small enough fly, just kind of do, it's just like filling some space. I think I'm going to achieve the same look no matter how hard I try to find like the perfect feather. You know, it's going to kind of ultimately be all the same shit. So get that thing ripped in here real quick. Now, gotta fucking pin back that straggle string before it kills me. Peel off one side of this real fast. I like to do it when it's tied in, just because I do. And then finally, some oval tinsel. Get to the core, tie that in nice. Don't need much. Okay, okay, okay. We're just gonna wrap this up just like a body. It doesn't have to be hyper nice. Who fucking cares? I'll tell you guys this. I sit in here a lot. I tie flies, and usually, like, in order, I'll either put on music or, you know, some background noise. I'll put on YouTube videos and I'll watch other tires. Just because, like, I'll hear something. Oftentimes they're not necessarily talking about the fly. They're talking about how they fish the fly or whatever. And so when you're watching like fly tying videos, you can just be getting information. Mostly because they're probably doing what I'm doing, where they're just talking to a camera, just endlessly talking, and so they're just rambling. And but sometimes in those rambles, you can get like lots of good info. So listen to what's being said when you watch them. Anyways, I can't remember where the fuck I was going with it. I don't think it much mattered. I'm doing little tinier wraps on this because it's small and I still want to try to achieve like that kind of 5 wrap look, even though it's not going to be 5. That's already 3, and this is going to be 4, you know. But that's okay. This is not a classic steelhead fly. I'm just telling you, just not big old fucking wraps. You'll see why in a second. It looks nicer when they're not ginormous with this. So, get going. 1. You don't have to count it. I don't know why I fucking count. I just do this. Get it wet. Getting up here to that last wrap right here. And then I'll go ahead and give this thing a few to polish it off right here. Yep. Use that bead. You can push that back, get it all tucked in there nice. There you go. If I wanted to, which I am going to right now on this fly, do this real quick. And this is just another little piece of Chinese strung. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because, I don't know, I'm going to give it a shot. You guys saw the fly that I am tying. Actually, no, I want to stay consistent. Maybe I'll do this on the next round. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to go off base here. You have to do one of these fucking dumb loops in this, though. I'm real sorry about that. Because that's how you get the rabbit in. Now, I could have done this prior, but I did not. God dang Lord Jizz. I'm going to try to stick that off to the side because those are good pieces still. So, get that on up. Get that as far up here out of my way as I possibly can. Get that to stop rattling. Add some wax to this. In my case, it's Semperfli Nano Silk, and it really doesn't necessarily like to grab unless you wax it up. But once it's spun, it ain't going anywhere. So I don't know what color combo this is, peach and orange, but I just fucking love this shit. I use it in a lot of flies. And start to cut as close to that flesh as I can. Get them all as close to that base edge as you can. And also kind of tap them out a little bit. Looks like I pulled that one back through just a wee bit more than I wanted to, actually. That's a fucking dumb disaster. But I can spread these out just a tad bit as well. And I'll start to tap. We'll tappy tap, 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 tap. I won't do any cutting or anything. I'll spin this, I'll wrap it, and I'll rake the fuck out of it. And anything that kind of comes out then just didn't fucking make the cut, I guess, so to speak. Fucker wants to get caught in there. It is one of the things about spinning shit. I don't know where my spinner is. If I did, I'd be using it just because turns out I do like it sometimes as an application from time to time. So I try to fucking like get in here, and you'll notice sometimes you can find a place that's like kind of like neutral after you've spun up, that wants to just kind of find like where everything wants to lay without continuing to spin halfway through. And I try to find that, and then that's when I push everything over in that direction. So, not always the best. Wow, that's pretty fucking weirdly sparse looking, actually. I think I ended up moving a little too quick on this, but that's all right too. And you'll see when I get to right here. So you can take and move your fingers up and down. That kind of helps set shit when you spin it up. And this is not a Klamath Intruder. I don't know if this has actually ever been necessarily fucking done like this. So this could be whatever you want it to be. I definitely can't recall a pattern that does this. So pretty fucking easy, pretty straightforward shit right there. And this is one of them that like actually makes me feel good. It's like it feels fishy and like it's gonna be a good fly. So I would have faith in it. I would definitely tie this fucking thing on and do it. So here's what I'm talking about. When you get to this point, you just kind of give this the old brush. Anything that's gonna yank on out of there or that wasn't perfect comes out. And that's just fucking dandy. Give those a little bit more of a trim. And when that all dries up, it looks even better. Now you just give it a whip finish and some glue. And that's the thing. This is actually a slotted bead, so what I've been kind of doing is precisely trying to get it right to where that slot is, and I just send some glue down into that fucking slot and let it hang out there for a second. I think that pretty much will kind of like seep its way in there, and I feel fucking good enough with that. The whip finish is behind a bead, so it probably still would never go anywhere. But durable flies are cool flies, so also don't get fucking hyper lazy about it. Like, oh yeah, I can feel the fucking heat coming off that. Super glue and fucking rabbit, there's something about it. You can literally sometimes see fucking smoke coming off of it. It will cure to rabbit faster than anything I've ever fucking seen it like get hard on. Hard on. Most likely, that's either a summer steelhead thing or, again, these are going to the Mackenzie River guides. I guarantee you some guides will use this on trout. And they're going to crush them with that. So, I got 3 of that. Now I can move on to something else here. Let's see if I have any fucking lavender rabbit. So I've got this kind of lavender, kind of pink, and I've already actually cut this down ultra fucking thin, put it in my vise and put slices in it. Maybe at this point I'll actually end up, I'll still do something kind of like that, but instead of rabbit at the front, I'll tie this in. I'll show you. I'll just fucking get doing it and shut the fuck up. I think a white bead at the front of this would be nice. Whenever I tie on these aqua shanks, I always like to put a bead on it, and it's for not really any reason other than I try to find one that's like ultimately as unweighted as possible. It's just because I don't really like how they look, and I think that the bead like just adds the look that I'm going for. That's a recent thing ever since I got onto like the Waddington shanks, because I don't like the look of anything except for Waddington shanks now. And there's that. So I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but I've been using, these are going to auction. I don't want people to lose fish, but I'm not going to waste, $1 million worth of fucking aqua talon hooks. Like, I bought so many of those fucking things. And now I wish I wouldn't have, but I'm still going to put them to use somewhere. I definitely won't fish them on anything that I don't want to lose. Like any fish I don't want to lose. And they will never go on anything like that I'm going to fish, because I cannot stand losing fish. Remember I told you about the Renzetti vise measurement? Now it's pretty fucking easy to see it even in the camera there. Got it. No need to do much, just eyeball it. And I could pull that one over here and I guarantee it'd be just the same thing. Okay, glue. Pull them back. They need to be trimmed down just a wee bit before I get too far back. Same old, same old. It's worth giving the warning out to be careful around those trimmed ends because they'll cut your thread. It's fucking annoying. Doesn't harm anything, but it's annoying. Perhaps on this one, it's going to be lavender. I don't know what. Let me see what I have, maybe. Maybe I'll do, check this out. I'm going to do just a little tad bit of, just going to tie in some floss, and this is going to be nothing but just like a wee little fucking hot spot, and not a bump, just a different color to kind of kick it off back here. And I think that'll be fine right there. Okay, now we're going to go to white. Straggle string. I think this will go nice with the lavender look that I'm going for here. So there's that, and it's going to be gray again. Gray against a lavender body. It could be that, or I could go do this with lavender. Yeah, let's fucking do that. Feels a little bit more the direction I want to take it. This is the fucking fun part to me. This is the thing I love the most about tying flies myself is I like arranging cool colors above just about fucking anything else. And then, well, then I want it to fish well, but I definitely want to like arrange cool colors. And that arrangement of cool colors is just that's my jam. And I know that it's not everybody's jam because some people tie flies just for catching fish. Like stupid fucking trout flies. You ever see trout flies that like they try to make look exactly like the fucking bugs? It takes all the fun out of it to me. The nice thing about being a steelhead and a steelhead fly tire is that there's no fucking rules here. Trout fishermen have so many fucking rules. even with their fly tying. Oh, fucking exactly like four rubber legs, exactly 3 millimeters. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're putting in so much work for the fucking dumbest fish. God damn. Think about that and understand that I'm not wrong. One, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm not going to make it to 5 exactly. Again, not necessarily trying, but am trying, but not trying. But I understand at this point that I won't on a 23 millimeter shank with what I've got going, especially when I burned like 3/16 of an inch on a little hot spot back here. I gave myself even less than I had before. So. Okay. Even this, if I were to go back to that orange, I'm going to show you the orange real quick because I know that fucking orange would be fucking sexy with this color. So if this were done, that could be like just a fucking really amazingly cool looking fly. But what's going to happen is that's not going to happen, and this is going to happen instead. Right? No, it's fucking not. I'm just kidding. I'm doing orange, man. I'm going to do this. Let's go to it. Let's go for it. What do I do with it? I like to cut out spent hide. You don't have to. I'm just saying I do. I like to cut out spent hide. Another way that you can do this is you could do this. Get it wet. Better if you have a water glass. And then you can get this in here and you can cut it off the hide once it's already kind of locked in place. The nice thing about this is you can pull this right to the hide. Right? And then get this taut. And then cut this. But I don't have very sharp scissors. And you cannot cut the loop. Oh, see, that's what happens when you don't have sharp scissors. However, I could still kind of show you how much nicer it's a fucking really clean look. Push those right to the tip, edges. I like to like almost gamble with how close I get it in there to being maybe too much. But don't worry, a lot of this plucks right the fuck out of here. What I mean is when you brush that shit, a lot of it's gonna go to Yanktown. where fucking bodkin went. So. Good enough by me right there, fucker. All right. Remember, try to kind of do this. You'll start to find a place where it wants to balance out at a neutral point, and then that's when you pull back. I'm fucking just gonna, don't keep fucking spinning on me. I thought we had this established already. So, okay. Yeah, that's a wee bit more material than I put into the last ones I did. I'm sure it doesn't much affect it. In fact, it's probably gonna be a little bit nicer. When you pack rabbit in behind a bead, usually you'll see like the indent and it'll kind of push back out and give it that kind of shape that we like to see in stiletto flies anyways. You know, traditionally with like marabou, that teardroppy jam. And you'll see it kind of occur here. I'm gonna stop wrapping at that point. That's obviously, I do not have that clamped down very tight in this vise, but didn't add any flash again. I kind of keep fucking forgetting to do that, so I stashed, there we go. Glad I was able to find those. I'm gonna turn them around. I'm gonna try to do that. Okay. So, there's a little bum fucking pieces got to cut out of here. There's a bum piece I'm gonna cut out of there. What I mean by bum is I was already using scraps, so they kind of had some short bits in them. And then I'll just angle and cut. It's gonna be good enough. Whip finish, and you'll see here. Get that fucking wet, keep it out of my way. One more, 2, 3. All right. That's it right there. And then you'll see it when it dries up, it will get really cool looking. Let me see if I can get this thing to fuck in there. And also, I wish I had set those a little bit different down each this side and have them stay. Okay. Now I can wrap it up. Well, I'll just call it a day right here for making videos. I got a whole bunch more to bang out, and I'm not going to keep you guys fucking on the line with me, even though I'm bored doing it, because I don't like just banging out repetitive shit like this, but we're going to make it work. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.